Hey guys, so today I thought we'd go through just what I've read recently, and then I also picked up a few things on eBay, just because it is hard to, once you've started collecting, it's very hard to stop yourself. So even though I'm trying to cut way down, and I don't really have room for a huge amount of books, I did pick up a few things on eBay. I still watch, YouTube videos and interviews with folks, so, a couple books I was looking for online, so, first off, like I said, these are the ones I've read recently. I have a whole bunch of Conan the Barbarian Bronze Age. This is 67, and for a while I was just going through the back issues of my local shop, just picking up all the Conan. Basically, if they had $1 or less, I'd pick it up, $2, $3. I was trying not to get anything that was too pricey, because for these, Bronze Age Conan, unless it's the first issue or some special appearance, it's not going to be worth too much. So I would go through and pick up the cheaper copies of stuff. And for a while there, they had a really good amount. So I think I probably depleted most of those by now. But, I didn't even care if I picked them up in order. Like this one has Conan versus King Cole, who is basically Conan's like a descendant. It's like, hey, I don't know what's going on, and for most of these Bronze Age issues, it doesn't matter if you've read the issue right before. This happens to be issue 68, so I did read these two in order, but, in the Bronze Age, it was very much, one, maybe two issues for a story. You weren't having to pick up 6 to 12 issues just to keep track of what was going on, so those are very easy to just pick up and read when you want some light reading. This is Detective Comics number 1022 by Peter Tomasi. Like I said, for the Batman books, this is it for me. Batman by James Tynion. I've seen some reviews. It's not getting 10 out of 10 or anything. It's not getting bad reviews, but it's not so groundbreaking that I need to pick it up. And I like Peter Tomasi. I do wish it was, I don't know if you guys read his Batman and Robin, when it was Batman and Damian. That was some good stuff. I noticed with the Batman books, mostly with Tom King, but, Tom King and beforehand, we really haven't had too much in like Robin. Robin's like his own little Teen Titans character. They don't seem to be bringing him into the main Batman books at all. This is Detective Comics 1023. This storyline was like 4 or 5 issues. It was mostly about, as you can kind of tell from this cover, mostly about Two-Face, and then they kind of, it felt a little bit like they shoehorned Joker in here. It's supposed to be a prelude to Joker War, which is something going on in the main Batman book. So they kind of shoved Joker in there. And kind of, all of a sudden Two-Face was kind of dovetailed out of there, but not too bad. This is Marvel Comics Presents. This is one of those that I picked up when I was getting all the Sam Keith covers, so this is just an amazing Sam Keith cover here, Wolverine in the sewer, after Jim Byrne, when he was doing X-Men, that whole sequence where they're in the sewers under the Hellfire Club, so this is kind of a take on that. As I've always said, brown suit Wolverine is the best suit. The story in this was pretty lackluster. The art wasn't by Sam Keith either, but just these covers alone. And on the opposite side, It's a Ghost Rider cover by Sam Keith. Just the covers alone, it's worth it to me. This is Joe Golem. There we go. Occult Detective. This is a series by Mike Mignola and Christopher Golden. If you're a Mignola fan, you might have read the book. Mignola and Golden have done a couple books together, most notably Joe Golem, and then also Baltimore. Baltimore was, I believe, the first one, and before that, Christopher Golden had done a couple Hellboy novels. You know, just trade paper, not trade paperbacks, just regular paperback novels. But you know, they did Baltimore together, which is a very good book if you happen to pick it up. In the back of this Joe Golem story, they had a letters page. They mentioned that Baltimore was in paperback form, I believe. I have the hardcover, which has a whole bunch of Mignola like art kind of sequenced in there, you know, just one-page shots. But Baltimore, they turned into a comic book series, which was very good. They kind of continued the, if I remember right, I think they basically did the book in comic book form as a series for Dark Horse, and then they continued the story. And not too long ago, they finished it up. And then kind of the same thing with Joe Golem here. It says this is issue 1 of 5, and I got 1 through 4. The first 3 are, I think, its own story, because I didn't remember the story from the book. And then issue 4 was very much a retelling of the book, but it seemed to be out of sequence, because it, you know, I read 1 through 3, and then I read number 4, and it's as if there's been a time jump or something's happened that we're not sure about. So I'm not sure if, you know, it's been a long time since I read the book, so I can't remember if maybe maybe that series kind of picked up where the book left off, or if that first 3 issues of the comic was kind of a prequel and then it started up. It was hard to tell. This is Frankenstein Undone, also by Mignola. I'm a big Mignola fan. I'll pick up almost anything. So this is, he did one Frankenstein series. This is the second series, so this is Frankenstein after he's kind of burnt down the castle and left his creator. So since my cat is attacking my background here, gonna move on to the couple books I picked up on eBay. I have a few others coming, but they, thank you, Chloe, but they have not shown up yet. Damn. So I was going to show those, but everything seems to be coming a lot slower across the country here. So this is the first one, Captain America number 119. Just a really classic cover with, you know, Falcon. I think this is maybe 3 issues after his first appearance. And I overpaid for this a little bit. Seller had this and a couple other Golden Age and Silver Age books, and you know, when I looked them all up after getting them, I probably overpaid for all 3 of them, but you know, it was you know, it was worth it to get this cover. This is a cool looking book. It's in really good condition too. Let's see, this next one is The Demon number 2. So second appearance of the Demon, created by Jack Kirby. All the art in here is Jack Kirby art. This is when he first moved over to DC and started, you know, doing different things. Demon looks a little bit different, but mostly the same classic look that he's rocking still. So picked this one up just because it was, you know, Jack Kirby's. I know some people like him, some people don't. For the comic book crowd, he seems to be a, you know, this huge looming figure. But you know, if you get younger fans that didn't grow up with Kirby, it can be kind of an acquired taste because his characters are kind of, you know, like these guys in the background here, they're kind of blocky. There's a great sense of movement and action, but they come off a little square. You know, I don't have a huge amount of Kirby. Most of my Kirby books are the Superpower series that he did for DC to go along with the action figure line. So I figured I'd pick that one up. And then they also had this issue. It's DC Black Magic, which makes me think kind of Black Label that they're doing now. I don't know if that's where they got the idea, because even up in the corner here it says DC Black Magic. So this is issue number 1, and it's new Simon Kirby special. So Joe Simon, Jack Kirby. I forget what year this was from. I want to say these were all early 60s. So this is some kind of horror anthology, and it's approved by the Comics Code, so it can't be that early. But you know, these horror and monster books that DC and Marvel both were putting out before the superhero boom, they're just really neat to look through sometimes. I mean, they don't garner a huge price tag, because like I paid $10 for this just because I had to buy it now and I just kind of wanted it. But searching on eBay, I think you could probably pick this up for like $4 or $5. You know, unless it's a famous monster or pre-Comics Code. A lot of the time these horror books that kind of came through with the Silver Age aren't you know, the asking price isn't too high, because it's not what Wortham cranked down on. It's not what they had to stop doing. It's kind of the PG-rated horror that they were able to do after all the rules came in. So, but I thought I'd pick this one up. It just looked cool, and since it's a number 1 and Joe Simon, Jack Kirby, you know, hey, why not? So, but that was the last one I picked up this week, guys. Hopefully, actually, let me grab something here. Since it's within reach. This is the Baltimore book by Mike Mignola and Christopher Golden. As you can see, it says with illustrations by Mike Mignola. So I forget how many illustrations are in here. It says an illustrated novel. It really, maybe every 4th or 5th page there'll be a drawing. It won't really be plot driven. It's mostly atmospheric, but you know, if you're a Mignola fan, I would highly suggest picking this one up, or just getting the comic book series. Like I said, the first series Dark Horse put out with Baltimore was basically a retelling of the book. You know, obviously truncated a little bit because it's comic book form, and it was like 5 or 10 issues, maybe max. But the book is very good, very worth getting. Joe Golem is, I will say, it's not as interesting to me as Baltimore. Baltimore is a vampire story. Joe Golem is a cult, but it's not as focused, I would say, as the Baltimore book. Sorry, I was just trying to see if it was on the bookcase that's right next to me here, but it looks like it's on a different one. But I would highly suggest Baltimore. If you like Lovecraftian horror, Joe Golem is worth a look also, but like I said, it's not as clearly planned out or plotted as Baltimore is. So, well, I have to go get the phone. You guys have a good one, and we'll see you next time.